out. We got trouble. This is going to hurt.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Daytona International Speedway, the Daytona 250, and we are under our first caution. And while during commercial break, yes, that is the defending champion, Jack Sprague. He was one of many in a turn 2 tangle that has sent several trucks scurrying for pit lane for damage control. And Sprague looks the worst for wear. Remember, though, Sprague crashed last year at the season opener. There is Brian Refner. He's also in serious hurt. Sprague crashed last year at the first race, came back to win the championship.
Don't know what's going on there.
Whoa! Oh, look out! We got trouble. This is going to hurt.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Yep.
Keep your fingers crossed.
And it was so good for so long, it turned into so bad so quickly.
We'll be back to see what happened. And as I said, keep your fingers crossed, folks. We're at Daytona. Now, for those of you who have tuned in and wondered, wait a minute, why is the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on ESPN2 at this hour? This race was supposed to be over at 1:30. Well, a 10-truck pileup on the tri-oval in which Jeffrey Bodine was injured with a fractured right cheekbone and a fractured right wrist, right elbow, big toe, and possible ankle fractures. And this is how it all happened, Benny Parsons.
About the 6th or 7th place there. There's Jeffrey Bodine, bam, in the outside retaining wall, and watch as he tumbles down the straightaway. Now, again, right, another truck is going to come along and hit him. Here, watch and listen.
Getting into turn number 1 as he got off a little bit early.
Oh, big crash on the front straightaway into turn number 1. Involved in it is the 51 of Ware, also Randy McDonald, also the 03 gets in this mix-up as well. That's Steve Prescott in his debut race.
A couple of them didn't get restarted. That's Prescott and Randy McDonald. They're both still sitting down there now.
On his horse. Amy, what's the story on Randy Tolsma? Oh, crash in turn number 3. We've got contact in turn number 3 and trucks going all over the racetrack.
Looks like Chris Horn, the red truck down on the inside.
That is Chris Horn. The 58 is torn up on the left side. Looking to see who else was involved. One more truck down on the inside. There it is, the 30. That is Jay Edwards. Or Jay Stewart, pardon me.
Yes, Jay Stewart.
Oh, no. And the 88 is also involved, Terry Cook, in the pickuptruck.com Chevrolet, and that one's not going anywhere without a flatbed.
No,
Whoa, and Houston returns the favor and says, whoa, and now he's into him and into the wall.
See, that was really uncalled for by Marty Houston. I mean, he was 2 laps down. Look at the mess he's caused now, but he's 2 laps down. He has really no business holding up a lead lap truck, and he retaliates because he got a little bit of a bump, and this is what it caused.
B.A. Wilson in the 73, the 72 of Randy McDonald, the 44 of Mark Petty, and only his second career start in the series, and Jamie McMurray.
We'll just see what's wrong with it, see if we can get him back.
Not nearly as affected when Andy Houston runs up. Oh, we've got a truck. Oh, big hit.
Big crash. That's Coy Gibbs in the 20 involved in this multi-truck crash. The 31 of Larry Gunselman, the 12 of Carlos Contreras, also Lance Norick right in the center of your screen. He's also involved in this. Well, there's Lance. Blew a motor in practice, got in on a provisional, and it looks like his evening could be ending here on lap number 2.
What an enormous hit for a couple of those trucks.
The 71 is Tommy Croft, the former off-road racer, a 5-time champion in the...
And yesterday, Jack Sprague involved in an Ismaker gap. Here's a spin on the racetrack. 3, 4, 5 trucks involved. One truck had already been involved on the bottom of the racetrack.
Travis Quaffle, tough break for Travis.
There's the Cat Reynolds car, truck of Mike Addington, Travis Quaffle, who was so very good in wrestling here back last month.
Flag being waved against again by Ron Selby.
Got a crash right in front stretch.
And a lot of trucks heavily damaged on the restart. Tolsma gets it from the front and the rear. Chuck Hosfeld's involved. Kenny Schrader is involved.
There's Larry Gunzelman in the white and the red truck, the 63 truck.
Michael Dawkins, 31.
I think that was really caused by the 31 truck. You see Chuck Hosfeld in the 50 truck with a tremendous amount of damage. The 31
70s, a little bit of a break. Whoa! And Rachel, Ricky Hendrick loops around, and you saw Coy Gibbs trying to stop, and Riggs stayed out of the back of Gibbs, and Hendrick still slipping, and now
Trucks going everywhere.
half a dozen trucks slipping and sliding.
Terry Cook has not.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, trouble in the back straightaway. Hard into the wall. Goes the 60 truck of Travis Quapple. 5, 6, 7 trucks involved. Matt Crafton sliding sideways.
Lance Norick in the 90 truck.
Heavy contact by Matt Crafton on the inside wall. Lance Norick in the 90 is involved. There's Norick's truck is rolling.
Billy Lester was involved in the 8 truck.
That big a crash right there, we're probably going to see the green-white checker.
Well, there is Bill Lester. Bill Lester moving around using the radio, trying to get his truck refired. You see him with that left hand on the switch. There is Lance Hooper. Oh, what a tough break for Lance Hooper, who had a great race going. Former Southwest Tour champion and Winston West champion. Hard contact by the 60, and he's driving that truck away. Travis Quapple, last year's rookie, say it's a Caterpillar sponsor. This thing will run it. You can't hurt a Caterpillar.
He's saying, put tires on this thing. We need to finish this race here.
There's Billy Lester. We saw him trying to get his truck cranked. He got it cranked. He's making his way back to pit road.
Jason Leffler.
2 truck damage, too.
There's Leffler also in the pits in the CarQuest truck for Team Ultra Motorsports. Heavy damage on the front end of the Team ASC Dodge.
You know, Mike touched on it. With this series, Jerry, we do not finish under caution. We will finish this race under green if the caution stays.
And the young man from Rushville, Indiana, up across the wall, up across the racetrack, goes a couple of trucks. Stars involved, 3 and 4 trucks involved in turn 2. Here comes Tony Stewart. He won his very first Winston Cup event here in September of '99, and he will win, and only his second ever NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series start. Tony Stewart, a winner at Richmond International Raceway.
Darn Harvick just keeps coming up just a split.
See David Starr against the outside wall there. Got some point ramifications. There's Jason Leffler. We saw there's Travis Quapple. Big wreck on the last lap down his turns 1 and 2.
That was a tough break for David Starr. It looked to me like Hamilton just went in there and stuffed him. I don't know what happened. We'll just have to look at the replay.
Brendan Gaughan, our Napa Dodge leading Rookie of the Year contender, also heavily damaged down there. All happening on the white flag. You see Brendan getting the helmet off.
Robert Presley also involved.
By himself right now. Look for him to move up.
Brendan Gaughan just took it, and the number 62 took it 3 wide.
Trouble off turn 4.
Several trucks involved.
It's like Randy Briggs originally.
Big hit there on the 26.
Problems getting slowed down, and so
Lance Hooper in the 01, I believe.
That's correct.
That's Lance Hooper there in the Lucas Oil 01.
86.
That's where you need us.
Some people wrecked it after it already should have been past it. Okay.
That's where you need the spotter, Barry. You know, that thing happened up in front. You saw the yellow truck get really loose. That's
all by himself.
All by himself, and collected all these other trucks with him. Trouble up between 3 and 4. Several trucks involved. 3, 4, 5. Wreck still happening. Big crash up there. Got the 72.
I think
Randy
John
McDonald
Wood was in it.
That's Randy McDonald on the bottom.
Oh, Tina Gordon had a great run going. She's in it. Jimmy Smith, I tell you, he's had a tough season, tough luck. It's good to see this guy win. Tina Gordon, everybody's moving around Dorsey, and what are they? They're going to put the window net down.
Right.
What's that a sign of?
It's all right now that Tina just took her steering wheel off. She can pull the window net down. That tells all the track officials and the medical workers I'm all right. I'm a little aggravated, but I'm all right.
John Wood.
Musgrave, the 1. That's a super speedway crash. Joey Clange in the 40. Oh, man. 59 of Randy LaJoy. Looks like the 8 maybe of Chase Montgomery. We saw the pole sitter, Terry Cook slide through that mess without any damage.
There's Barry, Bobby Hamilton getting going. There's Randy Ledger. Look at the right front tire there. It's not supposed to be there, Michael.
Shortened up his wheelbase on that right side. Bobby's got some damage to the left front. Bobby Hamilton, I'm speaking of. You can see Randy there's in trouble.
Ted Musgrave, unbelievable. 2 years in a row, they've had problems with that Mopar Dodge.
Phil, you had to see that coming.
It was. The way these trucks are dancing around, and these guys, they're running 2 and 3 wide. There's Ken Weaver, Joe Aramendia, 2 and 3 wide. These trucks dancing around. This racetrack is not as wide as Talladega.
Terry Cook just out in front of Bobby Hamilton, and again Bill Lester spinning and problems. A hard hit. Joe Aramendia involved in Chase Montgomery in the 8, having problems on the backstretch.
Caution flags breed caution flags, and looked like Bill had some contact from behind, got turned around, left him in the middle of the racetrack, and these trucks are going so fast down that backstretch. Some hard contact.
We see Joe Aramendia moving around, taking the steering wheel off.
Looks like Bill's moving around there too. You can see his head bobbing around inside the truck right.
Oh, there we go. There's a problem. Kerry Earnhardt gets spun sideways. Problem stacking up behind him. Cars racing down pit road again. Chase Montgomery involved in this one. Regan Smith. Shiggy Hattori.
Todd Cleaver.
Problems again for Todd Cleaver. Brandon Witt makes it into the infield.
And here comes the trucks by that laid back. You see Jack Sprague, Steve Park, Casey Atwood. They all laid back. Bobby Hamilton.
Bobby Hamilton's just now getting to the crash scene, Phil. He's up in first gear, idling through.
Yeah, and a lot of the trucks that laid back with him went down pit road. Pretty good call to lay back here, wasn't it, Michael?
I don't see where it was the wrong thing to do. Knowing the history of this event, knowing what was going on in the front, Shiggy must have got his throttle stuck a little bit.
Pole sitter Kerry Earnhardt making his way across the infield.
It started with Kerry, but he might have got hit. I mean, no telling what happened to turn Kerry. He was the first truck I saw out of control, but they were asking for it.
Each and every lap, we saw them come off turn 4, 3 wide, bouncing around, dancing. You see Chase Montgomery
dancing again as they cross the start finish line. Bobby Hamilton makes the pass, and problems right as they go across the start finish line. Another big crash as they go across the start finish line, and the white flag had come out as they cross the start finish line. That will mean, I believe, Bobby Hamilton will win the Florida Dodge Dealers 250.
I think you're exactly right. The field is automatically frozen when the caution flag comes out, and it looked like Bobby Hamilton had taken the lead. It was repaved between the spring race last year and the fall race, and it really took away that outside groove a little bit. We got trouble already.
Brad Keselowski gets spun around, taking up with him Chase Montgomery in the 18, the 50 of Todd Cleaver, the 8 of Deborah Renshaw.
Wow.
And it looked as though Brad Keselowski was coming into turn 1 and got on the brakes, and the rear brakes locked up and spun around on him.
Well, when there's not a lot of temperature in the brakes yet.
Backstretch.
Remember, Ron Hornaday has been on this race.
Already. Steve Park, Brandon Witt caught up in that as well.
The 12 of Robert Huffman.
The 65 of Regan Smith. Johnny Benson, the 23 truck.
Wow, what happened, Phil?
Well, I don't know. They just, again, most of these drivers sat and watched the Busch race 200 miles.
This track is in great shape. There's no reason to have a crash on the first lap, or you can't blame it on the track. It had to be a mistake by a driver, or else somebody just got into another guy.
And that's so easy to happen here. You know, we started this race side by side.
Let's take a look from up above.
See what happened. We're going to exit turn 2 here.
The drop of the green flag. We've seen 3 wide racing. Problem smoking coming out. That's the 04 of Bobby Hamilton. Oh, and some hard contact there. Chase Montgomery also involved in this.
Brendan Gaughan was involved, and I think Boris, the 14, was involved. A lot of damage to the 18 truck of Chase Montgomery. That's Brendan Gaughan, the yellow truck, against the outside wall. You see Bobby Hamilton on the inside of your racetrack with his truck backwards. Our runner-up right now in the point standings.
Unbelievable night for some of the stars of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Rick Crawford in qualifying wrecks his truck, is not able to get into it. Now Bobby Hamilton, who was second, or is second in our point standings, he is in an accident and could be out of this race. This is Boris Said driving the 14. He has considerable damage to that truck.
Well, he sure does. What a horrible break. They were just trying to survive this race and get and work on this truck, make it better. See if we can take a look at what happens. So you see Boris.
Again, Phil, we got a spin right in the middle of a gaggle of trucks. They're going every which way.
Stacking up this short half mile. Ricky Craven getting almost into the wall. Looks like a little bit of damage to that right front.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of damage to the 99 truck. What a horrible, this past 8 races this has been for Ricky Craven. 0 top 10s in the last 8 races for Ricky Craven, and you can see the damage on that Super Chips truck. Look at Bobby Hamilton, a tremendous amount of damage. He may be going right straight behind the wall.
Bobby Hamilton takes that Bailey's Dodge behind the wall. Ricky Craven. Busch looks high. They go through 3 and 4. Here comes Jack Sprague up high, and here comes Johnny Benson. Benson's going to slide out of 4. Sprague's going to slide out of 4, and Kyle Busch is going to win this race.
You blocked it, bud.
What kind of finishes can we have here?
Bobby Labonte got hit hard by the 50 truck.
And then the 75 came along, but what amazing finishes we've had here at Atlanta.
Almost coming out of 4. They were 4 wide. Johnny Benson got loose. He started to spin. Jack Sprague got loose. He started to spin. Kyle Busch drives right by. We see Bobby Labonte climbing out of that 47. A very good sight to see him able to get out under his own power.
Great to see Bobby's limping a little bit. He took an awfully hard shot right there. Awfully glad to see Bobby out of that truck.
Now I told you it all was gonna get crazy at the end. We can't help it. It always happens here in Atlanta.
It doesn't get a whole lot crazier than that, I don't think. Kyle Busch did have time. Those fresh tires allowed him to pass all 8 trucks. He wins this race.
Look when he ran his fastest lap of the race, Phil.
The next to the last lap.
Passing trucks.
Unofficial results have Kyle Busch up on top. Here we see the race. Jack Sprague getting sideways. Johnny Benson getting sideways. Bobby Labonte involved in it. Todd Bodine comes through unscathed. Kyle Busch, Todd Bodine come across from first and second.
Kyle hit the wall. He hit the wall trying to get by Jack Sprague. Jack moved up the racetrack. Kyle Busch wins this race on a tremendous drive over the last 2 laps. Let's take a look at it again. Watch. He's going to hit the wall, trying to give Jack Sprague some room. Bobby Labonte makes contact with Jack Sprague. Johnny goes through the infield. Here comes Todd on the racetrack. Todd finishes, I'm not sure, because the start-finish line goes all the way from the outside wall to the inside wall. So Johnny crossed the start-finish line in the grass. They've moved him up to second.
And the last time we saw someone slide across the start-finish line in second, it was Mike Skinner, and he finished second to Bobby Hamilton. And there you see Kyle Busch celebrating win number 3 in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. 15 starts for that young man, and he's asking for the checkered flag.
Well, he deserves that checkered flag. What a great gutsy call.
Caution has come out here at Daytona. This is our 3rd caution of the night. This is just one of the trucks involved in a big crash. It didn't start out that big. Craig Kinzer looked as though he was just getting up against the wall, but we see Eric Almirola in the 75 stopped in the infield right now. A lot of damage to that truck.
This was an aftermath of it looked like Craig Kinzer blew a tire. We could only make it about 30 laps in our cup cars before tires would go away. It was getting into that zone. It looked like Almirola lost the right front tire and was up against the wall. I guess truck slowing down in wake of that all got together. Let's see if we can catch some video here. There's Almirola.
Winning in 2006.
Big crash behind him.
You are the man!
Oh, look at this.
They're still crashing, Rick. I mean, even off 4 still.
They were slowing down. Truck stopped on the front stretch.
There's Steve Park, had a good run. He found himself a lap down late in the going.
Brendan Gaughan with problems in that 77.
We'll have to sort all this out.
You are the man.
That was Mike Hellman
changed
Sr.
positions, and we're going to show you a few different angles of what took place at the end of this race.
You can see Eric Almirola here. He's down on the inside of John Wood, and he just loses his truck. What a great run he was having, but he spins out, and watch what happens. Jack Sprague on new tires is charging, and he just got hung in the side and right into the wall he goes, and they just keep wrecking, Phil.
He's going to go to the bottom. Oh, we got a crash.
Joey Clanton has come. He tried to slow down to get onto pit road, and in doing so, he has caused a melee behind him.
That's Ken. Is that Ken Schrader? That's Ken Schrader just going out of our screen. There's Tyler Walker right there at the 36. There's Craig Kinzer, the 47, spinning around. Jason White had a good run going with his gunbroker.com. Ford.
Basically, if you're running 15th or back, you just had a chance to be in a big crash.
Look at that, Ken Schrader.
Damage to the 18 Fastenal Dodge. You see Ken, he's got the window net down, signifying to the safety crews that he's all right. He's going to unstrap the helmet and climb out of that vehicle.
And that was a track blocker right there.
Sure it was. There's a Tyler Walker who had such a good run.
Oh, it'll get a little.
Oh, hard and hard.
That's going to cause a crash.
Clint Boyer into the wall hard. The 77 into the wall hard. And we don't get done with the first lap, and already
There's a 60 of Jack Sprague, a point contender, also involved.
Sprague had dropped to 6 in the points.
And you know, the crazy thing, Phil, Brendan Gaughan qualifies in the top 5. I mean, he qualifies up front. Finally, he usually qualifies in the back. What happens? Big crash right there.
Hanging out the back, right side, parts all the way down, right
There's
side.
David Starr right there. Why, Michael, it's the first lap of the race. Why are we racing that hard, and why did we crash coming off too?
Skinner was on the bottom. He wanted to lead. We know Skinner's mentality. He wants to lead every lap. Clint Boyer saw a chance to hang with him, get a run on the outside. It just got Skinner loose.
Quite a bit of right front end.
Johnny went up there with him, and it's going to allow Mike Skinner to get a little momentum.
He's coming in pit.
Oh, problems for Jack Sprague. He's going to slide in front of the field. Right into the trioval they go. Jack Sprague slides into the infield and catches about 3 or 4 trucks. One of those being the 33 of Ron Hornaday.
Ron Hornaday got caught. There's Eric Darnell, made hard contact with the inside wall.
6 of Travis Quapple's got big damage.
There's the 6 of Travis Quapple. A lot of good trucks involved there. Ron Hornaday definitely got a piece of that with a right rear corner.
I think that was I think that right front tire must have went down. He felt it going into turn 3 and just was trying to get to the pits and couldn't quite get there.
Look at all the damage to that Conway Toyota. And there's Ron Hornaday. The right rear, you see the rear fascia flapping a little bit. He got a lot of damage to that right rear corner.
20 laps of racing still to go in this one, and somewhat the big one here.
Getting in the corner, but then he wants to get in that throttle and beat Jack Sprague off the corner. Ooh,
oh, spin.
Problems hard. There is the 07. And we just heard, again, another hit. That was the 09 of Joey Clanton.
Wow.
07 of Tim Sauter got turned around. Joey Clanton came in and hit hard. Red flag is now out on the racetrack.
Right away, you see the 99 of Eric Darnell involved also. We've got the 09 Joey Clanton. The 15 of Denny Hamlin is also there. Jason Leffler, the 1 truck.
That looked like that could have happened at Talladega, Phil.
That was a hard one.
Big crash.
Joey Clanton trying to get that truck moving again, even though.
Chad McCumbee goes to the front. He will take the lead. Hornaday and Skinner slide as they go through 3 and 4. Both caught up in the accident.
Oh, Skinner gets hit late.
Hornaday and Skinner both got hit in this accident.
Unbelievable. Those two got into each other as Chad McCumbee made the pass on the inside. Caution has come out once again. Look at all of the damage to the numerous trucks involved.
There's Mike Skinner. He's back on the racetrack. You see he does have some damage.
But his damage is all in the back.
Oh, look at Hornaday's damage.
This damage is terminal. Skinner's trouble's all in the back. He can finish this race up. Hornaday's in trouble.
But, Michael, can't they cut the front of that off and put him back out on the racetrack? We only have about 3 laps to go.
Look at the emotion. It doesn't matter, Rick. There was steam coming out of the front of that truck. That radiator's busted. He can try to limp around, but look, it's on fire. That's oil that's coming out of it. And look,
they have no oil pressure, Michael. They're told him to shut it off.
Unbelievable. Angie Skinner taking a deep breath. We're hearing we're going to get red flag. They're going to stop the trucks on the backstretch so that we can have a green-white checker finish.
That was an incredible.
The hand of our starter up in the air. He spins the tires. He stays high, though. Oh, and he gets turned a little bit as they come into turn. He will get turned by Jack Sprague. Right in front of the field they go. The wreck will happen once again. And that will be it, because we do only try 1 attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Look at the damage to this number 8 Chevy. Unbelievable. Ted Musgrave.
That's your winner right there.
Will come out of this in front, and he will end up the winner of the Chevy Silverado. 300K. Unbelievable.
What a great win for Ted Musgrave, but boy, you really have to feel for Chad McCumbee. He spun the tires on the restart, Jack, and he made contact, and Ted Musgrave will win for the first time since 2005 at St. Louis.
just announced he's not going to be with this team anymore. Just goes out and wins the race. Room for him to go out there. He forced it down to the left, and the thing about spun out with him.
Oh, there's the problem right there. Kyle Busch, Mike Skinner get into it. The big one happens behind him.
So Rick Crawford just could do. That's P.J. Jones right there, the 63 truck. That was on fire.
I can't believe how crazy they were.
Wow, that's
flames blowing.
That's P.J. Jones
over
right there.
the top of P.J. Jones's truck.
Looked like he already had the window net down. He's going to try to get to. There's Kyle Busch going through the infield. Chad Chapman right behind P.J.
Did you see Rick Crawford slip through there?
Yeah, sure did. There's P.J. getting out. Great to see him got it out of that truck. There's John Wood. And Brendan Gaughan with such a great run going early. Started way back. Had worked his way well into the top 10.
Not the start that Mike Skinner, I'm sure, was looking for the 2008 season. We see a lot of damage.
There was some
on that
contact
number 5 truck
between the 5 of Mike Skinner and the 51 of Kyle Busch. There's Chad Chapman right there.
It was
Curtis
hard.
Key Chevrolet.
It was hard to tell exactly what happened, but those two trucks did look like they were at the beginning of that problem.
Yeah, there's Mike Skinner right there. What a terrific season he had last year. Started off with a top 5 run here. And Ray, he's not going to get a top 5 tonight.
Phil, they're done for the night already. Skinner said oil pressure went down to 0. The engine is smashed, and he said our night is over. So, wow, what lap we on here, guys? 19? And Skinner's night's all over.
On lap number 20. Matt Crafton also involved in the 88.
That's a couple of guys last year, Rick. Mike Skinner and Matt Crafton. They avoided trouble all year long, and that just goes to show you trouble's around every turn. And it got these guys in the 20th lap of the first race of the season.
And I think we almost could anticipate what was taking place there. We were seeing the trucks dancing around in front of our onboard cameras.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened, Rick. There's lots of looks at it we'll get here. Mike Skinner and Kyle Busch appeared to start it, but you never know. Somebody might have hit Skinner or Busch.
Exactly. But we saw that initial contact. See, Kyle Busch, that's a black truck up on the outside. There's Mike Skinner on the inside of Brendan Gaughan. Kyle comes down. Johnny gets really loose. Slides through that corner.
Oh, problem! Jack Sprague's going to slide right in front of the field, and here they go. Coming out of turn 4, a melee.
You see Ron Hornaday involved. Brendan Gaughan involved in that 10 truck. Brian Scott's involved. David Starr, that 11 truck. Colin Brown with such a great run. He's also involved. There's Jack Sprague right there getting turned around. He has some damage to that RVs.com Chevrolet. Look at that left front fender. Virtually gone. There's David Starr with a lot of damage.
It was Jack Sprague who got sideways. It looked as though he may have had a little help from Johnny Benson, though.
Tremendous amount of damage to that 6th.
Truck up under you when you've got another truck.
Oh, problems already. There goes Ron Hornaday. He turns around. Into the wall he goes. The left front of the truck. And problems with the 71 getting into him as well.
Johnny Benson got a piece of that. He got a piece of Ron Hornaday.
Johnny Benson, yes, on the right side of that truck, more damage. These two trucks separated by just 6 points, and they didn't even make it to the start-finish line for lap 1.
I'm telling you, how reminiscent of that is a couple years ago when Johnny Benson and Mike Skinner, look at all the damage on this VFW Chevrolet.
Johnny Benson got away with it. He drove off, got some tires, and came through the field to win the race. Ron Hornaday is done. This truck's got to go to the garage area for a lot of work. It's torn up severely. He will be behind the wall possibly for the majority of the night. I told you when they went down into turn 3, a key moment on that lap was when they exited turn 2. Kyle Busch hung right there on Hornaday. Made Hornaday try to drive the bottom when he got to turn 3, and that's hard to do. Tires are cold. You're pitching your truck down. Next thing he knows he's spinning out.
We
got a crash in the tri-oval. James Busher got turned. Big crash.
Oh, and now coming up behind him, we've got quite a few more trucks that are moving into the smoke and can't see where they're going.
Johnny
Benson, one of those trucks.
Ricky Carmichael got hit. That was just a situation where Busher had gotten touched in the left rear quarter panel. I was watching this develop.
Yeah, that's Johnny Benson saying, sorry, fellas, we're done.
James Busher was running second when they crossed the start-finish line to Ron Hornaday.
And I think
there's James Busher right there and Johnny Sauter.
I didn't really see Busher do a whole. I can't tell what happened.
And remember, Johnny Sauter was just leading this race not very long ago, and he is caught up in this as well.
Look at the whole back's gone off Ricky Carmichael's truck.
Yeah, Jason White has some damage in that Gunbroker Dodge. A lot of damage for Johnny Benson right there in that K&N Filter Toyota.
That's a big crash.
Yeah, again, we heard Johnny Benson come on the radio and say, sorry guys, we're done.
no.
The 15 of Eichler gets into the back of the 24 and sliding back in front of the field. And now we've got a couple other trucks that have tied up.
Got clipped.
Man, Skinner did an awesome job missing that crash.
David Starr in the 24, Johnny Sauter in the 13 caught up in this. The 15 of Eichler, it looked like he had to chase that truck up and got back into the back of the 24.
David Starr came out of it okay. Eichler comes out of it okay. Skinner did an amazing job.
I don't know how he did it. He's going to have some flat-spotted tires, it looks like.
He's going to have some tires. He slid through it, but what a great job missing that wreck. He couldn't see where he was going either. Just remember that. You can't see through that smoke.
And he's only running 155, 60 miles an hour.
Amazingly enough, because of this early caution coming out, the truck that was one lap down, the highest scored one, was Ron.
Right now, still 4 remaining, but Bodine trying to make his move to the outside, and we have trouble on the back straightaway.
Problems for the 14 and the 5. Now they all bottle up behind them. The 16's into the wall. Hornaday, your championship leader, is into the wall. A lot of damage on the back stretch. Oh, and Max Pappas gets into the 5 of Mike Skinner as they're slowing down the back stretch.
Wow. Johnny Sauter was trying to get back in line in the middle. There was some contact made.
What happened off turn 2 was Bodine got a bump draft off of turn 2 that shot him wide off the turn. And then when he tried to get everything, that bunched them all up. And then everybody started scrambling for positions after that.
A lot of damage to that Geico Toyota, as well as the Copart Chevrolet of our point leader, Ron Hornaday.
Guys, I would expect they're going to have to red flag this, because we're so close to the end of this race, and there's a lot of debris that's going to have to be cleaned up. They want to finish under green flag conditions.
Yeah, Eric Almirola is hoping they red flag it because he's got some gas fuel issues he's concerned with. Look at the way this truck's bent.
Yeah, the Mobile, Alabama native of Rick Crawford with a lot of damage to that truck. We see Ricky Carmichael on pit road. They're doing a tire change for him.
That crash started with, I think, a bad buck draft into the back of Todd Bodine off 2.
Timothy Peters in the 17. That's strutmaster.com. Toyota Tundra on pit road. Ray Dunlap, what about our point leader?
Well, they know that the right front is not moving on that Copart Chevrolet, but they think that it may be just body damage that's holding that wheel. So they've got to get that cleared out and find out whether or not there's damage to the actual suspension or whether it's just the body on the wheel. They're going to try to figure that out and see if Hornaday can continue. Lots and lots of damage for Mike Skinner. I think his day is going to be over, guys.
Yeah, Mike already had some damage, and then Max Pappas came along and really drilled the 5 truck. Further damage. You see Max moving around in the truck right there.